Hi, I'm Peter Zangari. Currently, I am partner and head of Americas for M.N. I joined M.N after a 30-year career on Wall Street, spanning JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and MSCI. Today, what I want to do is I want to speak to you about an essential element in terms of driving success in your company, and that is around productivity. But I want to cover three important points. How do you create success within your organization? First, you want to build a shared vision that excites your people. People need to know, what are we doing? Where are we going? And at the current time, what do we think the future looks like? In short, what are we trying to achieve? Second, empower people with tools that scale. You could have a great vision. You could have an awesome strategy. But if you don't offer your employees the tools that can scale, that can help them achieve their objectives in a way that helps the organization also manage its costs, then you won't be successful. Number three, absolutely critical, create a culture that retains top talent. As we know, anyone who runs an organization, talent is an absolute essential ingredient for success. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge in terms of recruiting that talent, motivating that talent, and then retaining that talent. So let's go back to the first part. Build a vision that's shared across your organization that excites people. As a leader, I know it's a challenge, but it's very important for you to articulate where you're going. Create a picture, create a narrative, a story that describes what the future will look like. And you have to articulate that repeatedly so people can hear it, they can then internalize it, and eventually they can act on it. So step one, again, you need to create that shared vision that excites people so that they know what they're in for. Number two, you need to empower people, but importantly, empower them with tools that scale, meaning that empower them with tools that not only make them highly productive, but make them highly productive where they don't need to continue to increase headcount to achieve their objectives as the business grows. I know in my career, I spent a lot of time creating those tools that other employees use to develop different parts of the business. Those tools could be anything from tools that allow you to create portfolios if you're in investment management, or tools that help you better manage the finances of your organization. But having those tools and making them available are absolutely essential. And when I look at my career, and in particular, what's been happening over the last 3 to 5 years, or even more recently, you see what the role that AI plays in various ways. One of the most obvious examples is how generative AI and its applications, like, for example, ChatGPT, allows one to do things that, 5 years ago you could even imagine, or at least not imagine at scale. So the tools are becoming more powerful, they're relatively low cost, and it's absolutely critical for organizations to not only identify those tools, but figure out how do you incorporate those tools within your organization so that they are used at scale, meaning across the organization and in an efficient manner. Step three, absolutely critical. Create a culture that retains top talent. If you listen to my previous videos, I start usually talking about people and talent. And what do we need to do to identify those people? What do we need to do to recruit them? And then what do we need to do to motivate them and then eventually retain them? Because that is the engine of success. Without that, the rest is just talk. So from the very beginning, meaning that before you even hire people, you have to have a way to communicate externally from the organization and tell the story about what you're doing, why it's important, why it's exciting, and why is it fulfilling for those who join your company. And that's where identifying individuals or self-identifying them on their part, and then recruiting them. Because particularly at the early stages of one's career, people want to know that they're going to join an organization that has a purpose and that there is a clear understanding in terms of where that organization is headed. So as a leader, you have to be sure that you can tell that story. You can help identify those individuals who want to join your company. You can create an organization that is good at recruiting those individuals. And then you have the culture that helps to motivate those individuals so that they want to stay at the organization. Not only just stay at the organization, they want to, their job one wants to be to make that organization great. So it's a high bar, but you have to find ways, you have to develop that culture where employees are highly motivated to do a terrific job, a great job for the company's success. So let me leave by saying, if you want to learn more about what I'm talking about here, what I've articulated, I recommend that you go to my LinkedIn channel and follow more about what I have to say around business management, motivating teams, developing teams, and driving success within an organization. Thank you.